Alright. Out of the 8 default characters, we only have one more left. That being none other than the Electric Mouse himself, Pikachu. Let's begin. Starting with Link. So Pikachu is a pretty fast character with a bunch of electric attacks. There's kind of different elements of attacks in this game. Like there's a bunch of fire attacks and electric attacks, which kind of work differently than normal attacks. They have like different effects, but also kind of don't. Now, Pikachu's special attacks, I believe, are all electric based. It makes sense because Pikachu is an electric type Pokemon in the Pokemon games. So his neutral special, or her neutral special, I don't know. I think, because how Pokemon work is that they can come in either a male or female gender in the game. And I believe later on, you are able to tell the difference between male and female Pikachus because of the end of their tail. Oh yeah, by the way, I forgot to mention the pause menu in Super Smash Bros., where you're pretty much able to rotate around your character. Interesting that the background is completely static, but everything else isn't. Anyways, you're able to rotate around, see your character up close. I don't think you're able to do anything else. Nope. But, yeah, there's also the command down below where you can see A plus B plus Z plus R to reset. That pretty much takes you back to the main menu. We don't want to do that. But yeah, that's pretty much all that the pause menu really has to offer. But yeah, with Pikachu, later on you were able to tell the difference between male and female Pikachus by the end of his tail. If it's just a straight line, that meant that it would be a male. But if it had like a kind of a heart shape to it, it would be a female. That whole thing would not be added into Smash Bros. Until Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I guess because it was a recent thing that was done. Also, it's interesting seeing a Pokemon out and about without a trainer, being able to do all these crazy moves. I guess you could say that it's a wild Pokemon, because that's a thing that's seen in the games, but I don't know. It's especially funny because later on, there would be, in Super Smash Bros. Brawl, the character Pokemon Trainer, where you do actually see a Pokemon Trainer actually, command 3 different Pokemon to do attacks on the field. Well, it's 3 different characters that you swap between. You don't play as all 3 of them simultaneously. But yeah. Anyways, Pikachu's Break the Target stage has this grassy terrain texture. Pretty cool. I believe, I want to say 1 or 2 other characters also has this. Actually, I think Yoshi also had it. Anyways, what you saw there was Pikachu's up special, where he kind of zaps into another area. There we go. Pretty much quickly warp to another area depending on where you're aiming with the control stick. Also, with Pikachu's neutral special, it is a Thunder Jolt, I believe is the name of it, that kind of moves in an arch and is able to stick to the ground, being pretty useful for getting that target in particular. Now, Pikachu's down special is a Thunderbolt. And if you move in the air while unleashing it, it's able to just kind of spawn behind you and kind of move independently. But if you're just doing it in place, it will kind of strike upon yourself. We might actually try doing this in order to, or do that. We could just do an air attack in order to get that target. But it's pretty difficult to do it with the Thunderbolt attack. Alright, looks like Link's on our side now after we defeated him earlier. Yeah, you can tell I really like to use Pikachu's back throw. I don't know. It's pretty satisfying to use, being able to just kind of electrocute the opponent on your back. That just looks painful, honestly. How did this get an E rating again? Whatever. Yeah, even Pikachu's smash attacks has him using electrical, just using electricity. Oh, dang it. Yeah, that's how not to use Pikachu's up special, especially as a recovery. And Link is down. Great. Now, how Pikachu's down special works, it works pretty interestingly. Because it actually comes from the top rather than from the character itself. So if there's any platforms above you, the lightning is gonna show up and hit the platform above you. So you can use that to your advantage in a lot of ways, and it could be pretty cool to see. Come on, Mario. Come on, Mario, jump! I know you can do it. They called you Jumpman before, right? Come on. There you go. Perfect. And it looked like that was an explosive crate, too. Dang it. Let's see if we got an explosive capsule. We sure do! There's just explosives everywhere. Anyways, we now get to see Pikachu with one of his alternate colors, with a red party hat. Pretty interesting. Although I do think this was a costume that Pikachu would be seen wearing in Pokemon Stadium, actually. I get to mention that game again. And he's down. Well, not really down, but just kind of out of here. Who knows if he'll ever land? Well, maybe, eventually. Anyways, we have Link and Fox to assist us with this giant Donkey Kong. Pretty interesting to see. Pikachu, Link, and Fox. Not the trio you would expect to see, but I guess in Super Smash Bros. Anything goes. Uh-oh. Come on. Just land on the bomb. Land on the bomb, Donkey Kong. It's super simple. Link, you idiot! What have you done? It was the perfect plan to take down Donkey Kong in such a simple way. Fine, I'll do it myself. There we go. Full power. Alright, now time for Pikachu's Board the Platform stage. We got the same terrain texture as the break the target stage. A lot of running. This Pikachu. I mean, he's a pretty fast character after all. He is a mouse Pokemon. So it only makes sense. There we go. If you change the direction on the control stick while using the up special, you can actually be able to warp in 2 different directions, one after the other, which is pretty cool. Anyways, here's with the Kirby team again.
3, 2, 1, go!
Now, I think I was trying to say earlier about, like, whether Pokemon Stadium predated this game or not, because I'm trying to think if this was the first time that... I definitely know it wasn't Japan's first time seeing Pikachu in a 3D area, because... Okay, it's a pretty interesting story about the Pokemon Stadium games on Nintendo 64. Because... technically, there were 3 Pokemon Stadium games released in Japan. However, the second one was brought over to North America and was just called Pokemon Stadium. And then a year later, Pokemon Stadium 2 came out. And it was technically the third of the, well, it probably would have been called like Pocket Monster Stadium, because in Japan, Pokemon is known as Pocket Monsters. But anyways, yeah, the second of the Pokemon Stadium games to be released in North America was actually the third in Japan. Kirby Ranks is a special bonus we got. I believe that it's pretty much defeating all of the Kirbys in order of when they appear. So, pretty cool that I didn't even realize that I did that. Pretty cool. And I'm sure there's plenty of other bonuses that you can get in the one-player mode that are just as rare as that, if not rarer. But anyways, as I was saying, I actually don't think Pokemon Stadium was out in North America yet when this game came out. So this might have been the first Pokemon-related thing on Nintendo 64, because when this came out in 1999, Pokemon was still pretty new to international audiences, because Pokemon did not come out in North America, at least, until 1998. 2 whole years after it came out in Japan in 1996. Which, even then, was pretty late for the Game Boy. Uh-oh. Dang it! I died first. Ugh. Oh well. Alright, time for Metal Mario. How vulnerable is he to electric attacks? Probably pretty vulnerable. He is a metal. They are good at conducting things. Especially electricity. Work. Wait, was his shield green? It is. I believe that is the player color, I believe. Is it for player 3 in the multiplayer mode? I don't know, actually. There we go. Oh. Time to unleash a Pokeball as a Pokemon. Alright. Thanks a lot, Clefairy, for doing nothing. So I believe the Clefairy Pokemon in this game, when unveiling the Pokeball, actually will have doesn't really have an ability of their own, but rather takes the ability of another Pokemon. So Clefairy pretty much has all of the abilities just able to use one at a time. Which is pretty cool, honestly. Thank you, Star Rod. Anyways, here's the race to the finish. Get to go super fast with Pikachu. In fact, I'm pretty sure they made an entire Pokemon game out of running. I think it was on the DS. So yeah, pretty long after this game came out. This might have been the inspiration for it. Who knows? I doubt it. We never know. Not sure what that was. Guessing I didn't time my control stick flicking correctly. So I just ended up walking rather than running. Watch where you're going, Polygonal Captain Falcon. Uh-oh. Am I going to talk more about Pokemon? I guess I could. I honestly don't know what the first ever video game franchise I really discovered was. It might be Pokemon, but not because of video games, but rather because, I explained this before, I used to watch the Pokemon anime a lot as a kid. Because we had a bunch of the DVDs of the original run of the Pokemon anime, which I believe was called Indigo League, I believe was the name of it. Mainly based after the first, and I think the second generation of Pokemon. We would watch it all the time. I don't know, it was either that or maybe Sonic the Hedgehog, because as a kid I had an original Xbox, and one of the games that I got on it, or that we got on it, it wasn't really mine, but one of the games we had on it was Sonic Mega Collection Plus, which had a bunch of classic Sonic games. And that was definitely my first exposure to Sonic the Hedgehog. But I don't know if I knew about it before or after Pokemon. I really don't know. Considering just how popular Pokemon is in general, it was probably after. Oh, by the way, there's Mew! Okay. Which I believe is the rarest Pokemon to get out of the Pokeball. If you don't know who Mew is kind of, I believe, yeah, one of the rarest Pokemon to see in the Pokemon games. And I believe is believed to be like the source of all Pokemon DNA, pretty much. That's the way to put it. Although I don't know if that's true. But yeah, still pretty cool to see. Yeah, we even got 15,000 points for the Mew catch. And also a vegetarian for eating all those Maxim tomatoes. Anyways, there's Master Hand. Pikachu, I choose you to take care of this disembodied hand. Yeah, that right there lets you know I watched the anime. I used the term I choose you, because was it really used in the video games? Even in the English translation of the Pokemon games? I'm sure it might have been in the later ones. I don't know. Probably, now that I think about it. Pretty quick to deal with Master Hand. I'm guessing he's pretty vulnerable to electric attacks. Definitely. Because, just like that, he is down! Okay, thank goodness. Thank goodness I didn't lose a life, because I was worried sick, because I was falling there. I was like, oh no. Alright. And there we go. That concludes Pikachu's one-player game. Gotta speed through the credits once again. Isn't this fun? Anyways, here's Pikachu's congratulations screen. It actually says congratulations. And it has Pikachu alongside other Pokemon, such as Venusaur, Chansey, Clefairy, and Onix, in a realistic environment. Or a photorealistic environment. Weird. Alright, so that is the one-player game for the main 8 characters. Now we may as... Should we now deal with the one-player game with the other unlockable characters? I'm wondering if we should, because there's still one more character we need to unlock, which you actually do not unlock him through the one-player game, but rather another mode. But by the way, if you try to select him when they're locked, it'll just have that annoying sound play. That's great. I wonder if we should do that, because it involves doing the bonus 1 and bonus 2 practices, which is how you access break the targets and board the platforms. By the way, you can actually switch between them by just pressing the A button up here. And if you press it repeatedly, you can have those two voice lines be repeated over and over again. That's not going to get annoying. But anyways, here is where we can replay the bonus stages so that we can actually complete them with all the characters, which you're going to need to in order to unlock this last character, which we have not done it with Mario and Samus. And wow, that's it. Okay. We may as well go ahead and do them. Starting with Mario. We're also timed, by the way. I guess we could get a record on this so that afterwards you can try to beat your time. They gotta add replay value to the small game somehow. Alright, this is the one I missed earlier. You gotta use your fireball. There we go. And yep, this should do it. There we go. Perfect. Now all that's left is Samus. I'm wondering, should we try using her bombs? Yep, it works. Perfect. There we go. We can just use our arm cannon for that. For that one too. And for this final one. And there we go. Alright, so if you complete the target tests with the main 8 characters, you'll have another opponent to face, which in this case is none other than Luigi. That's right, the character we already saw in the one-player mode and the how to play tutorial is now finally playable. And will be ours if we're able to defeat him. Which, by the way, I believe if you lose, you'll just have to do another break the target stage. Which we did defeat him, thankfully. And so now, we can now use Luigi, the eternal understudy. Oh man, come on game, give Luigi some Give Luigi some love. There he is. Look at that. Oh, I did not mean to do that. Oh, by the way, if you press the L button, you can reset a target stage if you ever mess up for any reason. Yes, we'll go back. I did not realize that when you select a character, it just starts immediately. Yeah, it just starts immediately. You don't even have to press start. That's weird. Either that or maybe my start button's jammed. I don't know. Weird. But that's that. We now have Luigi unlocked. I guess now we could go ahead and do the one-player game as all of those characters.
Choose your character.